If you can imagine, what used to be there was about a 6-foot high fence. That's where he climbed over with relative ease.
Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro says he thinks often about the steps taken by the man who attacked the governor's residence back in April, and how vulnerable he and his family were, as well as those staying at the residence.
When you realize that the job you've chosen, the career path you've chosen, the work you love to do, put your kids' lives at risk and compromise one of those central tenets you have as a parent, is really hard. So that's been hard for me as a dad to work through.
Horrific. I mean, I would not sugarcoat it in any way, shape, or form.
State Police Commissioner Christopher Paris says failures on multiple levels allowed Cody Balmer to penetrate the perimeter of the residence and nearly breach into the section of the mansion where the governor and others were sleeping after a Passover Seder dinner.
I am the responsible party, and we've worked tirelessly since then to fix it.
Paris would not say how many troopers were on duty during the early morning hours when the attack occurred, but there are certainly more personnel there now.
We've made an attempt now under that personnel component to try and be efficient. No need to reinvent the wheel. We looked very closely at the Secret Service, and we've created a uniform division here of a tactical response group.
However, the most visible and expensive changes are happening in plain view, according to a letter sent to lawmakers outlining some $32.3 million in security upgrades. Those improvements include a new 10-foot wall surrounding the residence with anti-climb fencing, shatter and bulletproof windows, new lighting, cameras, and motion detection capabilities, and a fire suppression system.
That's the feeling of, as a dad.
$1 million is also being spent to improve security at Shapiro's private residence in Montgomery County.
It was a complete security failure. I have faith in the state police that they've learned from this.
We've been very diligent in terms of trying to mitigate as many threats as we can. We stand by those, and we feel that it's important. And on a very personal note, I can't have another call like I received on the morning of April 13th.
Getting the residence reopened and restored cost roughly $6.44 million, according to the Department of General Services. Extensive work took place to restore the reception area of the mansion that was torched by Molotov cocktails thrown by Cody Balmer.
We wanted to make sure that we put back and built better what was here before.
Department of General Services Secretary Reggie McNeil says the cost of the roughly $40 million project to restore the mansion and upgrade security is covered by funds already approved by the General Assembly. And while the security enhancements will still take months to complete, the residence is open again and hosted the annual state dinner Monday night.
The governor was very clear on making sure that he wanted to make this place active again to the public. So we accommodated that.
And I walk out here a lot.
While the residence is more secure, Shapiro says spending time with family here will never be the same.
It's comforting to know that my family and I are safe, and guests are safe, and the staff is safe. You know, I don't know anybody really wants to live in, with ballistic windows, knowing that there are people that want to do you harm. If you look back here, there's now a brick wall there that's obviously still under construction, but if you can imagine, what used to be there was about a 6-foot high fence. That's where he climbed over with relative ease. And he sort of hid back here in what used to be a pretty wooded area. It's obviously gotten beat up with all the construction. After one of the troopers who realized that there was a breach of the fence came to try to find him and missed him, he walked this way, fairly, sort of chilling way, pretty deliberately and slowly.
When you watched the videos, was it kind of chilling to see what occurred there?
Yeah.
Would you walk this path every day?
As I was saying to you before, I walk out here a lot. I'm on the phone, making calls, walk with other people. Find it very therapeutic to walk, and to know that this is where he was, really scary. So he walked right up here and to this window, and you'll remember when you were here that next morning, this whole area was burnt out. And what he did was he took this metal hammer and smashed this window here and threw a Molotov cocktail inside. That ignited a massive fire. and in effect destroyed this room. He then started walking down here, past these double doors, to this next window. And this is the window that he smashed and climbed through, wielding this metal hammer that he admitted he was going to use to kill me if he found me. He climbed through here, wielding that hammer with the Molotov cocktail. And, you know, from what we could tell from the video, he came this way. And remember, this room here was on fire. Because that first window he smashed was over there, and Molotov cocktail had exploded. I would also note, you know, we sleep upstairs, and so we were not far away from this. So smoke started to build up, fire started to build up. And he charged this way into the residence here. And as he charged this way, I don't know if it was from the smoke, or obviously he didn't know where he was going, but he tried to open those doors right there. Now those doors lead outside. I think he probably didn't know where ultimately they led to. And then with his hammer, you know, in his foot, he tried to get through those two doors there. They had been locked less than 10 minutes prior to him trying to access them. And those two doors lead to where we work and where we live. So he was literally those two double doors away. Once he couldn't get through there, then he came back this way, back into the state dining room. And you could see from the video, and also just his logic would dictate, this room had filled up with smoke and was really, I would imagine, quite hard to navigate your way through. I'll show you over here. This is what the room looked like
On the day.
after he, you know, did what he did. But to be able to have people come in this beautiful hall and see that we didn't let that destruction define us, that the workers got to work immediately and said we weren't going to let that crime define us, that we weren't going to let that darkness define us.